Hello, Hardik. How are you?
Hello, Professor. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Did you just come in?
Yeah, I just came in.
Okay, because I was in and I thought maybe I'd clicked on the wrong class because no one was here yet. But then I
Yeah, I thought
realized I was
so.
early. So
Yeah, I
I
thought so.
got out and I came back in again.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was the classes already ended or something.
Yeah, so anyway, all right, so today, and we'll have a bunch of several other students joining us.
Okay.
We're going to be
Yeah.
doing the presentations of the week seven, yeah, basically the week eight assignment.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
gonna grab something to eat. We still have like 6 more minutes.
yeah, we've got some time. If you'd like to grab something, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We'll be getting started in about 2 minutes. Thank you. All right, everyone. It's good to see everyone. Today, we will be doing the presentations, which is basically the week 8 assignment of the week 7 AI project. This is because, as I discussed at our last meeting, students have had difficulty uploading videos in the gap, and it being the last week of class, and many students would always wait till the last day of class to upload, and then they couldn't upload it, and then they'd freak out, and they'd send me a zillion emails, and the course has already ended. To avoid issues like that, we'll just do the presentations today. This way, for the week 8 assignment, all you will have to do is upload the PowerPoint. You won't have to upload the video. So I'm going to have you please, as I mentioned in the announcements, keep your videos, your presentations to about 5 minutes or so. We've got 21 people in the class. That'll give everyone time to present, and if anyone has questions afterwards, for a brief question and answer period. So that is going to be the assignment. Just to reiterate, for the week 8 assignment, you only have to upload the PowerPoint. You do not have to upload a video of you doing the PowerPoint because we were going to be doing that in class today. Now, if there are any students that have missed today's class, then those students will have to upload the video. But for those of you that are here, we're just going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation of the week 7 assignment. And this will save everyone a grief and a lot of heartache, especially those who like to wait until the last day to upload things. All right, so did anyone have any questions on that? Oh, questions? Okay, great. All right, so first thing I want to do before we get started is let me go in here and let me share my screen. And I'm going to go over this again because I know I have a few people that just came in. Let me move the Zoom thing out of the way so I can see. Here we go. All right, so here I've posted it in the announcements. As we discussed at our last class meeting, we'll be doing the presentations of the Week 7 AI project report in class today. So preparing a PowerPoint presentation for the Week 8 assignment, you will upload the PowerPoint presentation. Now, I know if you go here to Week 8, it says here to develop a 10 to 15-minute presentation video summarizing the report's findings and strategic recommendations. Use visuals to enhance engagement and convey key points clearly. All right, I'm going to leave this here because there may be some students that miss class, but for those of you that are in class today, you only have to upload a PowerPoint presentation for week 8. There are no other assignments, and you're presenting the AI project report, which was due here in week 7. Where is it? This is it. AI project report. Here, which is an 8 to 10 page project report, excluding cover and reference pages, minimum of 5 to 7 references, APA, and in Word format. I had some students, I think there was at least one that had difficulty uploading Word documents. If that's the case, if you upload a PDF, that's fine. Okay, that was only for the student or students that had difficulty uploading a Word document. They'd upload it, and I was on whatever format it was created, and I couldn't open the document. It would just give me errors. Even if it was in a Google Doc, it wouldn't work. So that was an exception that I made for students in previous assignments. Also, here is the breakdown. One other thing I wanted to mention with some of these other assignments, for example, the week 6 assignment, where is it here? You'll notice if you go into the week 6 assignment, it says an 8-page analysis. Please, everyone, please make sure you are following the instructions of the assignments. If it's 8 pages, It has to be 8 pages, not 6 pages, okay? Not 6.5 pages, not 7.5 pages, 8 pages. Uh, if you stuck a graph or something in there or an image, that will count towards the 8 pages. But it's 8 pages, not including the cover and reference pages. So if it's 6 pages and you give me 2 pages of references, it's still 6 pages. It has to be 8 pages. So some individuals, some students lost points because of that, but that's just how it goes. And all of these assignments, for example, the week 5 assignment, okay, this one, this was a 6-pager. All right, but some of them are supposed to be 6 pages. Some of them are supposed to be 8 pages or however many pages they are. I just wanted to go over this because I want to make sure no one loses points because they turn in an assignment that is too short. Okay, so please make sure you are following the instructions of the assignment. Now, for the AI Turnitin reports, some of you are still submitting AI assignment for the AI score is showing 100%. If that happens, you're not going to get full credit. It is the school policy. And what happens is if you're using Grammarly or a grammar checking software program, sometimes that will flag it as 100% AI. If you put it in the references or a disclaimer, oh, hey, I use a grammar checking software, or I used an AI tool, but then I rewrote it in my own words, put that in the assignment. If I don't see that in there, okay, you're going to lose points because it's going to be flagged as 100% AI generated. All right, so that's for that. Okay, so for, again, the week 8 assignment. Oh, and you have to do this end of course survey. I think that opens up the week or so. Let's see if it's on here. Anyway, for the week 8 assignment, for those of you, for the students that are not here today that are watching the recording, they'll have to upload the presentation video. For the students that are here in class, you'll be doing your presentations in class today, so you only have to upload the PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Are there any questions on that? It looks like I'm only missing, let's see, there's 21 in here. I've got 18 people are here. Let's see. Us old people can't see. That's why I'm looking through my bifocus so you see my chin. All right, sorry about that. Let me just do this. Okay. Charisma's here. Juan is here. Elkin is
Hi.
here. Hoy is here. Sonia, Sanjay. Who is MCE17? Please put your name, okay, so that I can know who you are. MCE17. What you do is you click on the 3 dots and you go to rename and put your name under your picture. Meghna's here. Hardik's here. Arun is here. Sandhya is here. Mainak is here. Agni's here. Aday is here. Navakanth is here. Chaitanya's here. Jeet is here. And Vanita. All right, MCE, that is, I'm going to click on the unmute button here. That is you. Please put your name.
I'm trying to do it, but I can't.
Okay, all right. Once
So
you do
just give me
that, I
one
will
moment.
take a picture for the attendance. Let me have everyone else, please turn on your camera so I can get a screenshot with everyone in it. And so,
Hi,
yes, I'm
Professor.
missing,
Nice to meet
looks
you.
like I'm missing 3 people. If they don't make it today, they will be doing, they will have to upload the video. Okay, good to see all of you. Hello, hello. Agni, are you able to turn on your camera? If not, just put it in the chat. Get a screenshot with everyone in it.
Professor, hi.
Yes.
Um, I will do what I've done in the past in other classes that I did. I'm already um more than almost done with my MBA, and what I did is I uploaded the I recorded it with Zoom, and I
Okay.
uploaded it to my school Google Drive,
All right.
and then shared the link in a Word document that I uploaded to Gap, so the professor can access to the presentation. I don't know if that's okay with that instead of doing it now, because I did although I watched the last session recording, I think that it's best to have the full presentation in a video instead of trying to cram it in a 5 minutes one. I don't know if that's
If you
okay
want to
with
do
you.
that, that's fine. But the videos will be on this Zoom recording. But if you'd rather do that, that's fine. All right, everyone. Vanita, turn your camera back on. Agni, I guess your camera's not working. Let me get a screenshot with everyone in it, and we will get started. Vanita, okay, there you are. Good to see you. All right. Yeah, well, that's fine. That's not an issue. If you'd like to upload the video, that's fine. But if I can't open the video to view it, I will be emailing you saying, hey, I can't view this video. If it's in Zoom, though, I should be able to. I'm just letting you know that in the past, and not just in this class, but in other classes, I have had some issues, or students have had some issues uploading videos. Either it would give them an error or they'd have some problems. So I found it easier to do it uh, this way. But if you want to do it that way, that's fine. No problems. All right, everyone, smile for the screenshot. All right. Okay, let me save that. And let me see. Stick that in paint. Okay, so this is this is this is February. Um, okay, that everyone's looking at the camera. Hold on a second. Go back here to the chat. I still have MCE17. What is your name? Okay, so, okay. Oh, hold on. We were able to fix. All right, very good. Let me make sure. Let me see here. All right, let me do another screenshot because I no longer have MCE17. I now have Marina. Okay, good to see you. We were able to fix it. All
Good to see you. Thank you.
right, okay, great. There we go. All right. Now, so this is screenshot number 2. All right, let's get started. Who would like to go first? Let me make sure that everyone can share. Excellent. All right, who would like to go first?
I can go.
Okay.
I'm going to share my screen.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Very
Can you
good.
see my presentation?
Yes.
Let me use presenter view. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to present my AI reporting um, on AI implementation in healthcare. I'm trying to. Yeah. Okay.
Karishma, I don't know if you know this, but we can see your speaker notes. I don't know if you know.
Okay. Is that okay with you guys if I refer to my speaker notes?
Yes, we can
Okay.
see.
Okay. I'm just gonna share my entire screen. So, the healthcare organization today faces multiple challenges, as we know. The pro- one of the most challenging part about this is the rising operational cost. Like healthcare organization faces a lot of financial pressures, and they have really tight margins. There is also staffing misalignment, labor shortage with high burnt out rates, and that causes operational efficiencies too, like overcrowding or lack of productivity in organization. Healthcare organizations are also very uh, s- vulnerable to cyber attacks and data protection because the all the information that healthcare organization has is very private and sensitive. Um, Systematic inefficiencies. Let me just use the slideshow. Systematic inefficiencies is also like improper billing practices, regulatory and compliance change that uh, causes the healthcare organization to face problems. Um, So, the impact of this healthcare organization is significant, especially with the financial instability. The financial strain reduces investment capacity for innovation. Staff burnt out increases turnover rates, which further worsens workforce shortage. Operational efficiencies also lead to longer wait times or patient dissatisfaction and increase risk of diagnostic or administrative errors. And cyber attacks also threaten sensitive patient data. In short, these problems affect not only organizational performance but also patient safety and quality of care. And addressing them strategically is critical for long-term sustainability. To address these challenges, I propose a combination of AI-driven solutions. And first is to machine learning and predictive analytics, which can optimize scheduling, patient flow, revenue cycle management, and natural language processing can also automate clinical documentation and reduce administrative workload. And another one I propose is the deep learning and computer vision, which improves the diagnostic accuracy in areas like medical imaging, like radiology or um, tumor detection. Another one, the final one, is the robotic process automation, which can streamline repetitive administrative tasks such as billings or any claims that are being processed. So the successful AI implementation requires a structure and ethical approach. The first phase is defining clear objectives aligned with organizational strategy. Next is like next is data integration and infrastructure is making sure your data quality is great. And third one is the pilot studies, The pilot study should be conducted in specific departments to test feasibility and measure ROI. And in phase 4, we should do the staff training and change management program and train staff to use AI tools and clearly state the objective of this AI implementation plan to give assurance of the job security that the AI is not going to take away your job, but it's used to improve the life of patient as well as the staff. In phase 5, the governance and compliance is the continuous plan, and also the continuous monitoring of this AI implementation plan is necessary. So with the continuous monitoring and evaluation allows the organization to refine AI systems and scale them gradually across departments. For the challenges of AI, there are many challenges. As I mentioned in earlier slides, there is data privacy. Also, the algorithmic bias is another biggest challenge of implementation. Training resources for AI implementation is also very necessary. And as we know, the ethical challenges regarding the AI has been the most talked about topic so far. So we should consider all of these challenges before we move or when we move into AI implementation. But along with those challenges, AI also offers significant benefits. Um, Financially, it can increases the revenue by improving billing accuracy and reducing claim. And operationally, it reduces administrative burden and improves efficiency. Uh, Most importantly, AI also enhances competitive positioning by enabling data-driven decision making and innovation. So all of these benefits are crucial for any healthcare organization. The expected outcomes includes both quantitative and qualitative improvements. Quantitatively, we can expect to reduce time in administrative tasks, increase in revenue, increased in patient volume, and reducing the diagnostic error. And qualitatively, that means improving patient experience and improving staff morale by like if you reduce the burnt out, your staff morale is high. And also low cyber attacks if you protect, if you implement strong cybersecurity with AI tools, you'll have low cyber attacks. Uh, so to summarize, AI is a critical tool uh, for modern healthcare organization. Although healthcare faces many serious challenges, including financial instability, burnt out, and operational inefficiency, smart and ethical AI strategies can help with these problems. So, by successfully deploying AI strategies, by clearly stating your objectives, doing pilot tests, having a strong, clear data infrastructure, and continuous monitoring, we can address these issues effectively. And while these challenges also, the AI implementation also comes with the challenges such as privacy and privacy or the data bias. It also has long-term effects, including the revenue growth, also improving the patient care quality and improving the staff outcomes. All in all, this positions organization for sustainable success. So I think this is, thank you. And here, my
All right. Excellent job.
I
Very
hope
good.
I'm on time.
A little bit over, but not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
All right. That's fine. But anyone have any questions for Karishma?
Oh, sorry, I stopped recording.
That's fine. That's fine. No questions. Okay. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'll just share my screen.
All right. There you go.
Please let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen now.
Okay.
Let me start.
Hi everyone. Today I will discuss how AI-driven signal detection, which is a core part of pharmacovigilance and the job that I work in, can transform the industry by addressing some operational challenges and regulatory pressures. As the safety data volumes grow, this is something that will come in more and more as we grow. Some of the challenges that this industry faces a lot is data explosion because there are so many patients being registered in clinical trials every day. They receive millions of safety reports with so much volume, which is not always structured in the form of data. So it gets very difficult analyzing that data by human eye. Also, based on the assessment that people do, there's a high quantity of false positives that come in. So essentially, every time you report an adverse event, they review it and understand how many adverse events are causing signals, which lead to the um, product being released into the market or not. So that's what decides if it was safe for consumption or not. So if there are false signals, then it would lead to the product not being in the market and cause a very big impact for the company. So these noise signals can be then minimized if we use AI. And also the manual burden. Like I said, they receive a lot of data. So the safety teams spend excessive time reviewing all of this data, which is not at all structured, and it does not let them focus on more strategic and decision-making tasks, making them more redundant. So to overcome these challenges, I'm proposing three solutions with the integrated dashboard. The first solution is machine learning. So machine learning will prioritize only the signals which can be used for based on the historical validation outcomes and allow for predictive ranking, which can highlight the true risks and not cancel out all the noise from the signals. The second one is the natural language processing, which will extract only the meaningful data from the unstructured text that they're receiving. And this will leverage the transformer-based architecture as well. So this will help the industry be compliant with all the regulations that are in place. The third one is the Bayesian modeling. This will help adaptive probability estimation, just because it will build on the quantitative signal detection methods as opposed to just the quality of it, and it will reduce the uncertainty in the industry. Based on all of these three approaches, I'm also proposing an integrated dashboard so that all the outputs can be looked at in a predictive dashboard so that there is more oversight from a human standpoint. This brings in the human in the loop component that is being forced in by most of the regulatory authorities right now. For the implementation, I'm proposing a phased implementation approach, wherein the first phase is about governance, where you bring in the governance committee, you prepare a steering committee as well, which aligns in all the functionalities in what they would do, what risks, how would the risks be managed, and everything will be decided at this point itself. So you have a structure in place before you start implementing or creating the systems. The second phase will go towards infrastructure, wherein they would go into detailed functionalities that are compliant with regulatory and create an environment that is compatible with each other as well. The third phase will go into validation, which includes model training, which is a key component here, because if we are training the model with incorrect data, then it could cause issues and algorithmic bias. So we'd also do like performance metrics at this point so that we have an oversight. In phase 4, there'll be a pilot where there'll be one therapeutic area chosen in the beginning. There'll be user acceptance tests and refinement based on the feedback received from users that are actually working. And in phase 5, there'll be scaling, wherein this initiative will be launched organization wide, and it will be continuously monitored and recalibrated based on how it is performing. The expected outcomes based on this implementation plan will include like the false positives that we spoke about earlier will be reduced, and there'll be low noise signals, which will then also require lesser manual review and save the time from the people that towards more value-added tasks. The accelerated detection will bring in it will rank signals based on predictive models as opposed to just the historical data. So it will be time validated signal identification, which will also bring down across all therapeutic areas. And the third one is operational efficiency. Obviously, if people are working more on value added tasks, it is being more efficient. So this will lead to less manual burden on them and increase their time on clinical judgment as opposed to repetitive manual tasks. This initiative that I'm presenting, I'm considering this as a strategic imperative in the field of patient safety. So if you look at it from a future perspective, I'm expecting this initiative to bring three major things. One is enhanced compliance. So with enhanced compliance, with this plan, if it is followed, we would be able to have everything in compliance with the regulatory authority conventions. So you would have a documentation always ready for audits. The algorithms will be more transparent and there'll be full traceability to those model decisions that we are using. There'll be earlier detection of everything, like you would identify everything sooner before it becomes an issue. So there's more proactive risk mitigation, and anything that shouldn't escalate to a regulatory level can be addressed before the harm occurs. And also building it for a future growth perspective. This framework will act as a foundation for the future innovation, including integration of real world evidence and federated learning models. So if we look at it, it will bring in not just a technological upgrade in pharmacovigilance, but it will also be an evolution for patient safety, which will strengthen compliance and create a future-proof plan for pharmacovigilance. And these are the references that I used as part of this presentation.
Excellent job. Very good, Magna. Thank you very much. Great. Were there any questions for Magna? Okay, let's see. Who would like to go? Oh, wait, I see some things here in the chat.
I can go.
Next. Ready? Yes, okay.
Sorry, I just closed the presentation accidentally, so give me
No,
one
no, no,
second.
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see that?
Yes, we can see.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to do my presentation on AI implementation at Spotify. So, as I feel a lot of us know, Spotify is a really big leader in the digital music streaming industry. So, they're currently the number one service in the world. They have around 751 million monthly active users at the moment, and around 290 million paying premium subscribers within their monthly active users. And being the number one streaming service in the world, they have a ton of major competitors who work with large amounts of data every single day. And AI has been integrated with Spotify from a very early period of their company and is how they've chosen to differentiate from a lot of the other streaming services. So they use AI, including within their recommendation algorithms, curating their content, and ways to engage their customers. And so it already plays a really large role in the company. And today we're going to be talking about a little bit about how they can utilize that even more in order to engage their customers and to retain them on their platform with a lot of new services popping up every day. So the problem that we're seeing is that because all these streaming platforms have similar features, such as like you're just there to find music and make playlists and maybe share that music with your friends without proper differentiation, users can really switch between services depending on if they want better music quality, if they want certain artists that are not on Spotify, etc. That means these companies really have to prioritize how they're going to stand out and really obsess over how they're going to retain their customers. And that leads us to, oh, yeah. And so you'd really have to optimize the customer's listening time and really look at the subscriber counts because that's where your revenue comes from in the end. And so, how we propose AI helps with that. Spotify already uses all of these, but really to prioritize how to attain more customers and keeping them on the app for longer. Firstly, machine learning is able to look at how many users are using the platform at a given time. It can really take huge sets of data and see, maybe different seasons, customers are listening to specific music, or what the waves are for them to target new customers or to retain them in certain times. And then next we have deep learning, and this is where you can really analyze each audio file. You can have them sort characteristics like the tempo, the mood, the instruments they use, and this is how they create really personalized playlists and learn what each customer wants in their listening experience. It can also help categorize different files and recommend them based on your personal taste. And then next we have natural language processing. This can be used in more of like the customer service end. They have chatbots and places where they can answer questions like how much is a subscription or how to upgrade my account without having to hire a human agent for every single request. So this decreases costs and allows customers to really get what they need really quickly, and that helps retain customers as well. And then lastly, there's predictive analytics, and this helps really anticipate what a listener prefers in their listening experience. So people who use Spotify might think, oh, wow, like this playlist really knows my taste. And that's because these models are able to assess whether you skip a song or when you stop listening to a song and then kind of tweak their model in real time to see what song you might want next, or maybe they won't recommend a song next time because you skipped it. And so for the implementation plan, I think it's really important to have high quality and organized data for the AI models to even train on. So first phase is to strengthen their data infrastructure, make sure it's clean and organized, and that the data is collected throughout all their content. So like their songs, their playlists, their audiobooks, to really see how users interact with their product. And then second will be the deployment phase. Um, Spotify will have to really continually test and tweak their models based on user feedback. And what's great with these models is that it's real time. So they can deploy a little tweak to a personalization playlist model, and they'll be able to see how certain customers interact with that model and get real world data every step of the way. And this will allow them to improve their models really gradually versus, predicting what someone might like and then completely deploying it and not testing it every day. So this will allow the least disruption to users who already use the platform, and probably less complaints and bugs that might arise. And then lastly, for the implementation plan, it's important that there's a lot of human oversight because it is new technology and it's AI is trained based on what we feed it. So if we're feeding it things that are wrong, then the model is not going to work the way we want it to. So there's always going to have to be a team that overlooks, if the model drifts from what they want it to do or any bias that might come from, they really have to review and incorporate their own judgment when it's necessary. One thing that comes to mind for this is I don't know how many people use Spotify in this class, but sometimes it recommends really similar things over and over again because these models detect what we like and it just feeds us what we like. But something we really like about music is that you can explore many different genres or things that you might not know you like. So that currently at Spotify has to use human judgment to really collect different genres together. Like the computer can't do that on its own. And that requires our team to really make sure these indie artists can come up compared to, the really popular, well-known ones already. And so the expected outcomes are really to decrease the friction that people have when interacting with Spotify. So we're expecting like a lot of opportunities and positive outcomes with personalized playlists that allow users to really feel like they own the platform and it really evolves to their needs. This in the end will increase their user engagement, will increase their listening time and retention rates. They're not going to want to switch to other streaming platforms because they feel like, oh, the Spotify algorithm knows what I like and will recommend what I want. And then that will add to predictable subscription revenues. So with more stable subscription retention and like a longer lifetime customer value, Spotify will be able to better predict the revenue and grow and use that to either develop in more AI models or develop in other areas of their company. And then also with AI, it can
Hoy, please wrap your over 8 minutes. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Was it 10 minutes?
5 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was 10 minutes. Okay, I'm done. It's over.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate to interrupt you, but I'm
No,
sure
it's
everyone
okay.
knows how to use Spotify.
I don't know. I
Going on.
saw it.
And
I just saw
I
your
just
message.
didn't want it
Sorry.
to go too long. All right, but anyway, that was very good presentation. You did a great job. I was trying to keep everyone to 5 or 6 minutes, but if it goes over 7, I start texting. So excellent job. Did anyone have any questions for Minnie? No questions. Okay. Let me go here in the chat. Who was next?
That's me, Professor.
Sanjay.
Yeah,
Okay.
MSc.
But just to say, Minnie, that was an excellent presentation. Just hated
Sorry.
to
Yeah,
have to
I saw
cut you
I
off.
saw it was 10 minutes on the syllabus, so I just kept going.
Oh, that's if you had to upload it. But since we have like 20 people in class, it wouldn't be, if everyone went 10 minutes, it would go over the
That
3
makes
hour
sense. Thank you.
Okay. But anyway, yes, Sanjay, we can see your presentation. Please begin.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm going to talk about AI and business problem solving related to credit risk in retail banking. Yes. So retail banks today still depend heavily on the traditional credit scoring system that relies on a narrow set of financial factors and indicators, like income, credit history, and previous debt. And while these models worked in the past, they struggle to capture the modern financial behavior, especially with the rise of gig work, uh, people who work uh, part time, and digital payments, as well as irregular income streams. And because of this limitation, banks often misclassify borrowers. They approve high risk applicants, um, while they reject individuals who are actually credit worthy. This directly increases loan default rates, and it, of course, definitely it will reduce profitability in the future as well. At the same time, manual underwriting process slow down the decision making, which would negatively impact customer experience and would reduce competitiveness. Another major issue uh, is the financial exclusion, where individuals with limited or no formal credit history are automatically denied loans. And this creates both a social and business problem, more of a social problem as well than a business problem. And therefore, banks urgently need more advanced and data driven approaches to improve their accuracy, speed, and fairness in modern credit risk evaluation. So the proposed solution is an AI-driven credit risk assessment platform that combines multiple technologies to improve decision making. The traditionally machine learning models would be great if you want to go much deeper. Models such as gradient boosting and neural networks would analyze much larger volumes of historical loan data to identify patterns that would predict default risk more accurately than traditional models. And in addition, natural language processing is can also be used to analyze unstructured data like customer interactions, emails, phone calls, and financial documents, thereby extracting behavioral signals that would indicate financial stress or reliability. Now, the key improvement is the use of alternate data sources such as transaction history, utility payments, and mobile banking activity, which would help evaluate borrowers with limited credit histories. The system also includes a real-time monitoring capability, allowing banks to track borrower behavior even after loan approval. And more importantly, explainable AI techniques will ensure that all decisions can be justified and understood, which is critical for regulatory compliance and building trust among stakeholders. So, one more problem with the current AI is it's not explainable, meaning if it gives you an output, it doesn't show or explain why it gives you a specific output. So, having explainable AI would be helpful in case of regulatory complaint check, or if the customer or if someone if it's needed internally, etc. Implementation plan. Coming to the implementation plan of this AI system would follow a phased approach to minimize risk and ensure smooth integration. In the first phase, banks would focus on collecting and organizing data from multiple sources that includes historical loans, customer transaction, and external data sets, while ensuring compliance with data privacy regulations as well. The second phase involves developing and testing machine learning models where data scientists and ML engineers would build predictive models like the one which I talked in the previous slide, like neural networks, and they would validate them using historical outcomes. And these models are evaluated for accuracy, fairness, and explainability. So when you have a previous historical data, when you know about a customer, if they have paid the loan or not, or how long have they taken to repay the loan, that would be your test and validation data that can be used to train the model. And in the third phase, the system is deployed in a pilot environment with a specific selected loan segment that allows banks to compare AI-driven decisions with existing methods. So have a temporary loan, you can run it a small test in a small group and evaluate its outcome, whether if it's doing good or not. And employee training is also a critical component to ensure that the staff understands and trusts the system. So nowadays we are seeing free AI training for all the employees that have been given by in all the major industries, not only banking but many industries. So that would definitely help. And government frameworks are also established to monitor model performance, bias, and compliance as well. This phased approach would ensure that the adoption is controlled and scalable rather than haphazard and quick, and it also meets both the business and the regulatory environments. Expected outcomes. This implementation of AI in credit risk evaluation is expected to deliver both financial and operational benefits. So first, improved prediction accuracy will reduce loan default rate, directly increasing the profitability and reducing financial risk. And secondly, automated decision making will significantly speed up loan approvals, enhancing customer experience, and allowing banks to process a higher volume of applications directly and more efficiently. Operational efficiency would also improve as employees would spend less time on basic evaluations and more time on complicated and complex cases and strategic tasks. Another major benefit is the increased financial inclusion, as AI properly trained AI would enable banks to assess borrowers who don't have a traditional credit history but who have demonstrated reliable financial behavior through alternate data that we have spoken about in the past. This explains the customer this expands the customer base while while it also reduces risk at the same time. And on top of that, adopting AI would provide a competitive advantage over traditional lenders, especially in in comparison to fintech companies that already leverage advanced analytics. Future expansion. Looking in the future, this AI system can evolve into a much broader and intelligent risk management platform. One key expansion is integration with fraud detection systems that allows banks to identify suspicious behaviors alongside credit risk evaluation. And one more enhancement that is it could involve incorporating macroeconomic indicators such as inflation and unemployment rate and market trends. That would enable a more adaptive and a forward-looking prediction. AI can also be used to personalize loan offerings based on customer behavior, improving engagement and increasing its lifetime value. And one more thing with data is that it evolves fast, so continuous model retraining would ensure that predictions remain accurate as financial behavior as well as economic conditions change very quickly, especially even in a short period of time. And strategically adopting AI positions banks to compete
Sanjay, please wrap. You're at 8 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. So strategically adopting AI position banks to compete effectively in a digital-first financial environment where speed, accuracy, and personalization are critical. And institutions that invest in AI-driven decision systems will be better equipped to manage risk and improve customer satisfaction, and also sustain long-term growth at the same time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Very good. Excellent presentation. Did anyone have any questions for Sanjay? Okay, who is next?
I'm
Let's
next,
see. Let me
Professor.
see here in the chat. Ooh, a bunch of people have put things in here. Let's see. I'm going after. Let's see. Who was after Sanjay?
It's me, Elkan.
Elkin. Okay. Elkin. Please begin.
1 second, let me share my screen. Do you see my
Yes, we
screen?
can see your screen. Thank you.
So I'm gonna talk about Netflix and how AI can help to reduce the churn rate of the customers. So today, basically, Netflix is one of the largest entertainment platforms in the world. And one of the biggest problems that AI Netflix is facing is subscriber churn. So despite the fact that Netflix have changed how everyone watches the TV, there are a lot of rivals right now, competitions: Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO, even Amazon, Apple TV, and so on. So there are so many options, users are experiencing basically subscription fatigue. They often sign up for one show and then cancel as soon as that show finishes. So that's why currently Netflix has one of the best recommendation systems. It basically mostly focuses on what customers should watch next, and not on whether you are about to leave the platform or not. So even a small increase in people canceling can accumulate to a large amount of money lost in terms of revenue, and which will also lower the confidence of the shareholders. So we need to move from just suggesting movies to predicting and stopping cancellations before they happen. To help this kind of problem and to propose a solution, one of the things is predictive retention intelligence system. And this is
Elkin, I hate to interrupt you, but I'm still seeing just your cover slide. I didn't know if you were advancing.
I was advancing. One
Okay, yeah,
second.
there we go. Thank you.
So do you see my proposed solution right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So basically, first we can use a machine learning to look at the disengagement signals, like if the users stop searching for shows or spend less time in the app, and then AI puts every subscriber into groups. So for example, low risk, medium risk, and high risk of getting out of the app. Second thing, we can use a reinforcement learning to change our recommendations. Instead of showing the same type of shows over and over, which can create a kind of boredom, we can start suggesting a variety of content to make sure that people are interested and watching more. And finally, the system, when they see a high risk of churn of a customer, it can automatically trigger a personalized recommendations for that specific customer so that the person doesn't go basically unsubscribe. Do you see my next slide, or should I again? Do you see implementation strategy?
I see proposed solution.
Okay. I don't
Okay,
know
there's
what's going on here.
implementation strategy. I see.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it like this in that case. So, in terms of implementation strategy, we have a 12 months roadmap, and it consists of basically 4 stages. From months 1 to 3, we're gonna start auditing our data to make sure that we follow all the privacy and ethical rules. Second step is starting basically testing this model, creating this model, and testing these models. So data scientists will create these models and use different metrics like a precision and recall to make sure that we are correctly identifying the right users. And third stage is we will connect this AI model into the real life system so that we can calculate the churn risk every single day. And lastly, we will start training our marketing and product teams to use these new AI tools to launch automated campaigns that keep users more engaged. As an expected outcome, what we're expecting is to churn rate to reduce by 5 to 10% in 1 year, which is going to save millions of dollars in terms of revenue. Customers will be much more happier in terms of what kind of recommendations they see and what kind of personalized recommendations they see. And by keeping users basically longer, we're increasing their lifetime value. We'll also save money on marketing because it's gonna be much cheaper to keep his existing customers than finding the new ones. Most importantly, our decision about which show to fund will be based on the better data, ensuring that our investments in the content actually keep people more subscribed. In the conclusion, what we can say is that Netflix should stop reactive and start being more proactive and predictive in terms of churns. In this current market where customers can leave any kind of platform because it's so easy to jump to another platform, AI is one of the best tools to maintain the competitive edge. And looking ahead, basically, there are more things that Netflix can do. For example, using generative AI in the future for custom movie previews and better system scaling. So, in the bottom line is that AI is one of the best ways to protect the profits in terms of this entertainment industry.
All
That's it.
right. Excellent presentation, Elkin.
Thank
Did
you.
anyone have any questions for Elkin? No questions? Okay, very good. Great job. All right, let's see who is next.
I am.
Manu?
Yes.
Okay,
Let me share my screen.
sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I will be presenting on the strategic initiative for Global Connect Telco. So, an AI-driven approach to solving one of our most persistent challenges of customer churn. We aren't just looking at how to fix a problem. We are looking at how to transform a customer relationship from reactive to predictive. Let's look at the numbers. Currently, the Global Connect sits at a 15% annual churn rate. When you compare that to the industry average of 11%, the gap is clear. This isn't just a percentage on spreadsheet. It represents a millions in lost recurring revenue and a massive drain on our marketing budget as we constantly scramble to replace departing customers. To put it bluntly, it is 5 times more expensive to find a new customer than to keep one. So we need to close this leaky bucket. Why AI? Because our current methods are humanly impossible to scale. So a human analyst can look at 10,000 call logs, billing cycles, and data usage spikes simultaneously to spot a frustrated customer, but a AI can. So by moving to a AI-driven model, we move from being descriptive, knowing someone left, to predictive, knowing they might leave in 30 days. So this gives us a golden window of opportunity to intervene before the decision to cancel is even made. So our proposed AI's architecture has a solution which relies on the 3 pillars. First is a supervised machine learning using the XGBoost to assign every customer our risk score. Second, natural language processing to analyze the tone to support chats. If a customer is polite but the sentiment score is dropping, then the AI will flag it. So finally, an automated recommendation engine ensures that we don't just identify the problem, but we solve it uh, by offering the specific incentive, like a data boost or a device plan that history shows that the specific user is likely to accept. Now on to an implementation roadmap. So since we know that a transformation doesn't happen overnight, so we have outlined a 20-week rollout. So we start with the data integration, breaking down the silos between billing and support. By the month 3, we begin model training, and most importantly, in the month 4, we run a pilot program on 10% of our user base. So this allows us to prove the return of investment in a controlled environment before we scale out to an enterprise by the end of the 6-month cycle. So let's look at the resource allocation and the roles. So this is a cross-functional effort. So our data science team will build the brain, but our marketing and success teams are the hands that will execute the insights. So we are prioritizing risk management here as well, specifically focusing on data privacy and model drift. So we will retain our AI every 2 months to ensure it stays sharp as market trends and customer behaviors evolve. Moving out, how do we know that it's working? So we have measuring success KPIs. So our North Star metric is a 3% reduction in 3% reduction in total churn within the first year. Technically, we are aiming for the model precision of 85%, meaning that when the AI says a customer is at risk, it is right 8.5 times out of 10. Uh, Qualitatively, we expect to see our net promoter score rises as a customers feel seen and valued rather than just being managed. And in conclusion, adopting AI for churn management isn't just a technical upgrade, it's a defensive necessity in 2026. By implementing this roadmap, we protect our revenue and outpace our competitors. My immediate recommendation is to greenlight the phase 1 or data audit. Let's stop guessing why customers leave and start knowing how to make them stay. Thank you.
All right. Manu, excellent presentation. Very great. Very good. Very good. Were there any questions for Manu? All right, everyone. So far, so good. Everyone's doing great. Next, let me see on the
I'll
list
go
here. We have
next.
Marina.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Mariana.
That's it.
Yes.
Can
okay.
you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So today I will present an AI-driven solution to reduce 30-day hospital readmission for patients with heart failure and diabetes. The initiative combines machine learning and natural language processing to proactively identify high-risk patients before they are discharged, and it will improve outcomes and reducing financial penalties. So the business problem is that hospitals face significant financial penalties under the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, if readmission rates exceed benchmarks up to 3% of Medicare reimbursements. So beyond the financial losses, high readmission strains hospital capacity, increases the staff workload, and negatively affect the patient outcomes. So most hospitals rely on manual discharge planning and basic risk calculators that use limited structured data. Critical risk factors like social determinants of health are often hidden in physician notes. These systems also generate too many false positives and often provide risk assessments too late to intervene effectively. So the proposed solution is I suggest that implementing a hybrid AI model that combines the structured EHR data with unstructured clinical notes. This way, the system will generate a dynamic readmission risk score directly with the EHR data, allowing care teams to intervene proactively and personalize discharge planning. The machine learning component of the proposal is that using random forest and XGBoost, the model will analyze demographics, labs, comorbidities, and prior admissions to the hospital. It produces a daily risk score so case managers can focus on the highest risk patients and allocate resources more effectively. And then the natural language processing component, it's a clinical large language model that analyzes physician notes and discharge summaries to detect hidden risk factors such as housing instability or medication non-adherence of the patients. And it will combine the structured and unstructured data, and that improves the predictive accuracy and overall model performance. So the implementation plan will be that the project will follow a phased 7-month rollout, starting with the data integration, modeling, the training, EHR integration, pilot testing, and full deployment. The target performance benchmark is an AUROC above 0.8 to ensure a strong predictive reliability. The risk management, the system will operate a HIPAA-compliant environment with a strict data security. We will conduct bias audits to ensure that fairness across demographics and tune alerts are carefully treated to prevent staff fatigue and maintain clinical trust. Finally, the expected outcomes of the proposal is that within 12 months, the research, like this research or this plan, so aims for a 15 to 20% reduction in readmissions. And financially, the system is projected to generate a 300% return on investment through avoided penalties and improved bed utilization. Clinically, it will improve workflows, efficiency, and patient satisfaction. So finally, this hybrid AI approach shifts the discharge planning from reactive to a more proactive care. By combining predictive analytics with NLP, hospitals can improve patient outcomes, optimize resources, and protect revenue. Next steps after the implementation include refining cost estimates and finalizing the intervention protocols. I still have to add my reference to the PowerPoint as I finish the project, but
all right, that's fine. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. So Mariana, as I said, great job. Add them before you upload it. That'll be fine. That's not an issue. Did anyone have any questions for Mariana? No questions. Okay. All right. Let's see who we have next. Sonia. Right,
Yes.
make sure. We've got a bunch of people who. Yes, Sonia is next.
I'm just sharing my slide. Hold
All
on.
right.
Can you see?
Yes, you can see your screen. Thank you.
Okay. I cannot see my screen.
Yes, we can see.
Welcome. So, good morning, everyone. Today I'm presenting my research on AI-driven supply chain optimization for retail operations. And this presentation addresses a critical business problem costing retailers millions annually and proposed a comprehensive AI solution with measurable ROI. So, let's dive in. Okay. So let me start with a brief summary. The current state reveals three critical problems: an 18% stockout rate that's costing 8.2 millions in lost sales annually, uh, 12 million tied up in excess inventory, and forecast accuracy at only 65%. Our proposed solution is an integrated AI platform that combines uh, machine learning forecasting, computer vision for shelf monitoring, and reinforcement learning for optimization. The investment is 3.97 million over 18 months with projected annual benefits of 18.8 million. So the financial impact of the current state is severe. We are losing 8.2 million annually from stockouts. Those are customers leaving empty-handed, and 12 million is logged in excess inventory, carrying cost rather than generating returns. And we are spending 3.5 millions on markdowns to clear slow moving products. Combined, this creates 23.7 million annual drag on operating profit. This is unsustainable. So our AI solution has three integrated components working together. First, the predictive engine uses machine learning models to generate demand forecast at the SKUs store week levels, the granularity needed for effective decisions. Second, the inventory optimizer uses reinforcement learning to dynamically determine optimal stock position in real time. Third, the control tower provides integrated visibility and decisions support across the entire supply chain. These components create an intelligent and adaptive system. The core technologies include XGBoost and LSTM, long short-term memory algorithms for advanced forecasting with over 150 features, pricing, promotions, weather, competitor data. NLP's sentiment analysis extract insights from social media and reviews, providing early warning signals. Computer visions enable real-time shelf monitoring to detect stockouts instantly. And stream processing using Kafka and Flink enables real-time decision-making, reducing response times from days to minutes. So the implementation follows a 18-month phased approach. Month 1 through 3 focus on foundation and infrastructure. From months 3 through 6 involves platform development, building ETL pipelines and training models. Months 6 through 10 are the pilot deployments in 20 stores with 2,000 SKUs, including rigorous A/B testing. Months 10 to 15 scales to all 150 stores. The final phase optimizes and transitions to an AI center of excellence. This iterative approach allows learning before full commitment. So the expected performance improvements are transformational. Forecast accuracy improves from 65% to 85 to 90%. This is the foundation of all other benefits. Stockout rates decline from 18% to 5 to 7%, meaning products are available when customers want them. Inventory turns increase from 4.2 to 6 or 6.5. freezing up millions in working capital. These targets are based on documented results from peer organizations who have implemented similar solutions. So the financial benefits are substantial and measurable, like 6.5 million from reduced stockout losses capturing sales we are currently missing, 8 million in lower inventory carrying costs through optimization, 2.5 million from markdown reduction, and 1.8 million in labor productivity gains as teams shift from manual analysis to strategic work. And the total benefit reached to 18.8 million, and these are recurring improvements year after year. So the return on investment is compelling. We invested like 3.97 million over 18 months and generate 8.8 million in annual recurring benefits. That is 4.7 times a return on investment with payback in just 3 to 4 months. This isn't a long term bet, it's an immediate financial improvement that continues delivering value year after year. So beyond financial returns, we gain critical strategic advantages, enhanced agility through real-time response rather than weekly batch cycles, improved customer satisfaction from consistent product availability, which build loyalty, workforce empowerment as teams focus on strategic decision rather than spreadsheet work, and the competitive edge through technology leadership that attracts top talent. Okay, so the critical success factor. Success depends on only three factors. First, an iterative approach, learning from pilot results before deployment. Second, integrated change management. Technology alone doesn't create value. People using it effectively does. So the third, a solid foundation. AI requires quality infrastructure and governance. These aren't optional. These are prerequisites for realizing the projected benefits. So my strategic recommendations are clear. First, approve the 3.97 million investment. The 4.7 times ROI justifies immediate action. Second, establish an executive steering committee to provide governance and remove barriers. Third, begin with the 20 store pilot to validate our approach and build organizational confidence. Fourth, establish an AI center of excellence to create sustainable competitive advantage beyond this single project. So, in conclusion, I want to say that AI fundamentally transforms supply chain from reactive operations to predictive intelligence. The results speaks for themselves, like 4.7 times ROI, over 85% forecast accuracy, and 40% reduction in stocks. This isn't about technology for its own sake; it's about competitive survival, and this presentation represents a strategic imperative, not just an operational improvement. The question isn't whether to implement AI in supply chain management. Our competitors are already moving. So the question is how quickly we deploy it to maintain our competitive position. The data, technology, business case, and implementation plans are all aligned. Now is the time to act decisively. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Sonia. Very good presentation. Excellent job. Okay. Were there any questions for Sonia? Oh, wait. Hold on a moment. We've got 20. Did someone come in? I've got an extra person. Let me just do another quick screenshot here. All right. Let me see who that was. Kamal, was that you that came in a little late?
I came in at 9:15. Sorry.
Okay, you were.
I didn't want to interrupt while the presentation.
No, that's all right. So yeah, I noticed there was an extra number went to 20 people. So okay, I'm glad you made it. Very good. Sonia, excellent job. Let's see what's next. Hardik?
Yeah, I'm going to be the next.
Okay.
Screen. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. I'll be going over the AI-driven defense against the cyber attacks and the data breaches in the businesses. So the problem today in the modern businesses is there's a lot of cyber attacks and data breaches going on in the IT department, and it's very hard for the humans to detect them, and the consequences are a huge amount of capital losses and huge amounts of fines that needs to be paid. And there's a lot of like regulatory mandates from the GDPR and CCPA that are required to build brand trust and uh, this and to solve this problem, we need AI to detect these issues and solve them. So to get the specific about the problem, we're looking at the risk of losing personally identifiable personal information, or the PII. Along with our core intellectual property, the financial impact of the breaches is severe, averaging in the millions when you factor in fines, lost sales, and customer churn. Right now, the biggest operation bottleneck is the alert fatigue, where our current security tools flag way too many false positives, and our security analysis are spending their time chasing ghosts, which means a real critical threat is highly likely to be slipped away. To tackle this problem, um, we are proposing a AI defense arsenal, which consists of three main technologies, where we first deploy the machine learning algorithms that establish a baseline for detecting the normal network behavior, and which allows the system to instantly flag the anomalies. For example, if the employee is downloading a massive amount of restricted data at 3 a.m., it can be detected easily. And second, we utilize the natural language processing to analyze the tone, urgency, and the structured syntax of the incoming emails to catch the sophisticated phishing attacks. And lastly, we'll employ the predictive data analytics to ingest the massive feeds of global threats intelligence to our system that can forecast emerging attack vectors and proactively block malicious IP addresses. So to implement this technology, broke down the plan into different phases. In the first 1 to 2 months, we'll conduct a comprehensive data audit to locate our sensitive information and map network vulnerabilities. And during the phase two, the month 3 and 4, we will select the specific AI-powered security tools and run pilot tests in a safe sandbox environment. And in the phase three, which is month 5 to 6, we will have the full integration of these modules across our live network and paired with complete staff training. And to manage this, we will have our security officer to oversee the strategic alignment with our data scientist and manage the day-to-day operations to match with our AI detect system. And after we implement this plan, we have certain expected outcomes. We will use to evaluate the successes of the implementation. We will have to establish a quantitative and qualitative metrics. Quantitatively, we aim to drastically reduce our mean time to detect and shift threat detection from taking days to taking maybe just a few minutes. And we will also plan to decrease our mean time to respond to automated incidents by 60% and reduce our false positive alert rate by 50%. And qualitatively, we will improve this with a direct boost with our security team's morale, freeing them from tedious manual labor. And ultimately, hitting these metrics leads to our most important quantitative goal, which is achieving 100% clean audit for data privacy compliance. And in conclusion, integrating AI is fundamentally important in the current business world and to transform our corporate cybersecurity from a reactive cleanup operation into a predictive automated shield for our data. Adopting this technology is no longer an optional entity, but is an option absolutely essential for survival in the landscape where malicious actors are already weaponizing AI against businesses. Moving forward to finalize our project report, our next steps would be to select the specific software vendor, detail the exact budgetary requirements, and clearly define the specific data anomalization protocols to our compliance. Thank you.
All right, Hardik, very good. Excellent presentation. Were there any questions for Hardik? Yeah, Hardik, I did have a question. You mentioned something about weaponizing AI. Could you extrapolate on that a little bit, please?
Yes, so a lot of in our businesses, the people are using like AI bots to do like cyber attacks. Like they keep on calling the same phone number with multiple phone numbers, or they use the same victim with they use different like emails for to victimize business, and it's very hard for the like businesses or the with the real people to detect these anomalies, and these with the AI defense mechanism, we're just weaponizing AI for to defend the AI attack, like a AI run like phishing attacks or the cyber attacks for the businesses. It's basically
Okay,
a defense mechanism as a weapon.
I see. Okay. Yeah, it's and as anyone can understand, it would be pretty damaging. Also, pretty annoying. Like a robocall that's AI is just generating robocalls or robo emails, or uh, even could be extrapolated to denial of service and things of like that nature. All right, so excellent job, Hardik. Thank you very much. Great presentation.
Thank you.
All right, let's see who was next. Aday?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Let me share my screen. So good morning, everyone. I'll be discussing the use of artificial intelligence to reduce customer churn, but the perspective is from a manufacturer's perspective, not necessarily service industries. Um, as we as we all know, customer churn has been one of the greatest challenges most every organization face because of how important customers are to the organization. So the challenge is either with acquiring new customers, because that even costs more than retaining the existing ones. And another issue is that, or what we're trying to solve for, is how to use AI to predict the churn before the cancellation happens. So it's how do we retain our customers? And the problem identification is one, there is a large inability to accurately predict customer cancellations. Also, most organizations are then forced to be in the reactive mode of reporting instead of being proactive to prevent customer churn in the first place. As I said earlier, customer churn would result in revenue loss and inefficient retention efforts. And my proposed AI solution overview is the use of machine learning for churn prediction. This is using data analytics to understand the customer, and the patterns of customer behavior, and so that they can detect it early using AI. Also using natural language processing for sentiment analysis. That is, how do our customers react? How emotional are they to certain products? I remember a time when Whole Foods was canceling a particular line of cake that they made. And as a result of that cancellation, a lot of customers protested and all of that. Whole Foods had to bring back that line of cake. So that is usually sentiment analysis. So how do we, I mean, Whole Foods could use practical examples, but in areas where there are no physical face-to-face conversations, how do we use natural language processing to really understand these things? So one of the solutions is using machine learning by training and using historical customer data. Also by using data analytics and natural language processing. That is, how do we identify the behaviors? How do we analyze how we interact with our customers, or how our customers interact with either our chatbots or even how they interact with our products. So using AI to understand all of that. And the implementation timeline, I've identified like a 6-month timeline to carry out this process. The first 2 months will be used for data collection and cleaning and just data gathering. Month 3 to 4 will then be model development and validation. That is, how do we develop a model to address these problems? Month 5 will be pilot testing, and month 6 will be full deployment and automation. Because of the time constraint, I don't want to really expand too much into that. And this, as we all know, would involve a lot of resources. And even because we're dealing with a lot of customer data, there is the need to also manage the risk that comes with that. In order to implement this, we'll be using data engineers, the machine language specialists, or business analysts who would either be charged with securing data storage and monitoring the tools that we're about to implement. And like I mentioned earlier, some of the risk that this might bring is ensuring data privacy compliance, testing for bias, and monitoring performance, and maintaining strong team communication. All of this would be integrated towards really ensuring that the solution is implemented correctly. The expected outcome and conclusion will be the expected outcome is to reduce customer churn by 10 to 20%, and also to increase customer lifetime value. That is, how do we translate our on and off customers to lifetime customers? There are people who are permanently subscribed to just buying a single product. They never change. So how do we achieve that? And also, how do we improve our retention campaign effectiveness? That is, what are the tools that we need to implement in order to make sure that we're not just getting new customers, we're retaining them? And the conclusion is that AI typically enables proactive retention strategies, and we need to maintain structured implementation in order to ensure success. Thank you.
All right, Ade, that was a very good presentation. And I like how you mentioned, with the Whole Foods and the cake, there have been other cases through history, through time, I should say, over time, that one was when Coca-Cola went to New Coke, there was public outrage and all of these things. And there was another one, the Cracker Barrel controversy. People were outraged. They changed the sign and all of these things. And so you can see how AI can be used to study these things and, not, understand customer reactions to certain things that can change. But I like that very good example that you gave of the Whole Foods.
Thank you.
Very good. Did anyone else have any or have a question for Ade? No one else? Okay. Okay, let's see who is next.
That's me.
Kamal?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great.
Let me just pull up my presentation and okay. Let me know when you guys see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen now. Thank you.
Let me see if the slide shows. Okay, is the slide show up for you?
I can see your first slide. It's okay, yes, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Hi everyone. My name is Komal, and today I'm trying to present on a very important issue about using AI-driven approach to reduce industrial gas flaring. Now, this is a very important issue that I, got acquainted with very recently, and I did not know that it was such a big problem. So I decided to kind of dive deeper into like what this was about. So we'll see what this is. I'll try to explain you what this is about, how we can use AI to, make an economical, financial, and sustainable impact. So first, looking at the business problem. So business-wise, gas flaring happens when natural gas cannot be transported or stored and is instead burnt off. So this is common at remote wells where pipeline infrastructure is limited. The problem is that flaring waste gas could also otherwise be sold, and it could also, you know, increase regulatory risk if not sold. So all of this is, companies get penalties if they're not handling their gas correctly, if they're not able to make decisions about how much to produce, how much to mine and all that. And on top of that, many decisions about production and allocation are still manual in this industry. It's not very technologically driven, so this is one industry that hasn't been really explored from the technology perspective as much. So let's look at the solution overview that we've come up with so far. The solution combines several AI techniques. So machine learning is supposed to help predict how much gas each well will produce. Reinforcement learning is useful because it learns the best decisions over time based on outcomes. The time series forecasting is going to help anticipate the market economic decisions, and then the computer vision is going to help monitor and detect and track the flaring events. So four-part approach, but we've also tried to break it down, and I apologize, my photo kind of got cropped there. But we try to make like a 12-month pipeline, timeline of how we want to break that down. So first we want to, collect the data that is important for our baseline, and analyze it to establish a baseline for our first part of the year. Then after we are at a stage where we have enough data and enough baseline, we go to AI models that are developed and tested. And then we move into a pilot stage where we test with a small number of wells that are using the gas flaring techniques. And then we expand the solution across operations. So it has to be a stepwise approach. We will not get to step 4 right away. It will have to be based on the performance and, all the iterations that we will need to make to the models. If at all that is successful. This is a hypothesis right now. So let's look at the financial ROI. Now we're looking at, if you project like 3-year plan, we're looking at overall 3-year investment of about $18 million. Now this sounds big, but it is broken down into a lot of different things. So to reduce the waste that is captured by more, usable gas, to lower the risk of regulatory penalties and increase the financial returns in the, system at scale. Overall, we are projecting that by year 3, we will have a payback, a return on our investment in 18 to 24 months, because we will have more gas that we can sell. We will have reduction in the production costs, and we will have reduced our regulatory penalties, and we will increase the revenue payback cycles. So that kind of will play into the overall return. And sorry, my bad. I said 18 million investment. We are projecting 18 million return on investment by year 3. Now let's look at the projected environmental impact. Now AI optimization will help us in lowering the overall cost emissions and reducing the flaring. It will also help in CO2 emissions and methane impact. And it will also be more consistent with environmental monitoring and reporting, because it will be a direct, like a P0 metric that can be tracked across the industry. Sorry. So the expected outcome from AI optimization is expected to reduce gas by about 40%, translating into significant CO2 methane and CO2 reductions, and simultaneously increasing project methane captured gas is what I would say. Now let's look at one sustainability impact. This is a very important thing because overall the project targets about a 40% reduction in gas flaring, which is supposed to be a very big corporate sustainability win. It is also supposed to improve the ESG performance and compliance. So and support the regulatory compliance and carbon reporting, and aligns with the net zero and decarbonization strategies that a lot of the countries in the world are trying to get to. And we also think there is a lot of risk to any new approach, realistically speaking. So in terms of the risk, we think the poor data quality can weaken AI predictions. The models also need to be updated as operational conditions change, and there's a human factor as well. So if teams don't trust the system, its impact is going to be limited. So we need to have that adoption that's translated to the users. And then compliance requires the monitoring and reporting that are auditable and financially viable, and integrating AI with existing systems should not be complex and very costly. That will also kind of, not help the whole cause. So that's everything from my side. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, very good presentation, Kamal. I like how you have you mentioned how they're trying to capture the gas instead of having it flared or burned off, being able to capture that to reduce, that's the methane gas, right, from the oil refineries you
Yeah,
mentioned.
it's both methane
To
and
help
CO2. Yeah.
reduce the CO2 emissions and the greenhouse gases. So if AI can be used to do that, that would be very, very beneficial. And you were showing over the 3 years how it would save money and things like that. So very good presentation with that. Were there any questions? Any other questions for Kamal? I was going to ask how, like when you say using AI to do this, are they going to have equipment installed in order to capture the gas before it's flared?
No, it's primarily starting at the planning of the production. So how much gas are we going to produce? It's probably going to have a predictive model that's going to inform that decision first, so that we don't produce extra gas that cannot be, that needs to be burnt off. So our goal is to start at the very beginning of how the operations begin, and then start looking into, because more gas you produce and more gas you burn off cost you more in penalties, and it has a lot of regulatory risk. So overall, we feel like we have to be take a preventive measure. So prediction is going to be the strongest. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Great presentation. All right. Any other questions for Kamal? Okay. All right. Let's see who is next. Arun?
Hi, Professor.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about how you can use AI in manufacturing. Manufacturing generates a lot of data, but what we see is that it has not been streamlined so far, especially in mid-sized manufacturing industry, to streamline their maintenance and sort of give it a structure. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Okay. So why manufacturing? Today, manufacturing accounts for about 16% of global GDP. So we are talking about a huge industry, and the operational margins are very, very thin, 5 to 8%. So what does that mean? Every time you have downtime for any equipment, especially we are talking about automated industry, so you are sort of looking at all these heavy equipment, and the maintenance takes over 7 days, 8 days, 10 days, a month. And now that's a problem. Industry estimates that about $50 billion is lost to this. And this is in the form of paying wages to idle workers or paying uh, client penalties and things like that. But here's the thing, there is data. So it's just that it's not used. That's the biggest problem. Okay. So in this context, I'm going to talk about two specific organizations. One is Rockwell Automation and the other one is Tata Metallics. But before I get into the specifics, what exactly is the problem? We are looking at two kinds of maintenance that are currently popular in the industry. One is reactive maintenance, where you wait for the equipment to fail and then you repair it. That means you are not really planning anything, and that means more time for the technicians. And then you're also looking at, like I said, paying a lot of penalties and idle workers. Scheduled maintenance, on the other hand, is what some of the organizations do. And that's also a problem because you're replacing good parts and you're wasting your maintenance budget. Again, there is a huge gap. That is, you have data, but you don't use it to do anything about it. So that's what is being addressed by AI. I mean, human beings cannot really go through all that data, understandably. It's like per second readings. So in this context, what did Rockwell do? Rockwell Automation, they're a global leader in industrial automation, and they work with a lot of mid-sized organizations and try to help them with their data and sort of build algorithms. And they built this AI-powered predictive maintenance platform, and they deploy this in different organizations and sort of help them with their do some sort of predictive maintenance. Okay, but before we talk about that, I also wanted to talk about Tata Metallics because they collaborated with IIT Kharagpur, which is a university, and they were able to build a AI detection algorithm, and that helped reduce the inspection effort by 28% and 40 hours downtime eliminated annually. So we are looking at significant amount of time being reduced in terms of manual inspection and maintenance. So that would be our baseline, and we'll try to use Rockwell Automation's tool to sort of see how we'll go about it. Okay, so how would the solution look like? We are looking at level one, you have sensors and edge computing that sort of gathers all the data, does some preliminary processing right on the machine. And the second part of the problem would be to churn all this data and use some anomaly detection algorithms to figure out if, okay, there is an equipment, is it going to fail in the next few days? That's the question that I'm going to try and answer. This is something that can be detected in the data, but not by human beings. So predictive analytics will now extrapolate that and say, okay, this is your schedule. This is how the machine is probably going to break. Okay, how would a technician understand all this? This is all numbers. So that's where generative AI comes into picture, and you use that to create work orders. So you say, okay, this machine is going to fail in this way. That's the information that you would give. Now, so how would the implementation plan look like in this case? Okay, initially you would assess what data you have and what sensors you need to fix, and figure out the critical machines and sort of fix them with the sensors and set the data running. Now, the first 2 weeks, and through Tata Metallics, the case study, we understand that without getting the technicians involved and without getting them to understand and adapt AI, it's not going to work. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to train the staff, and we are going to make sure that they understand what AI is helping with. And now AI obviously will run, train, and provide initial alerts. And you create a pilot version of it with some machines and see how it's working. And then you target an 85% accuracy. In the next 12 months, you try to figure out how you can deploy it fully and improve your algorithm. So that would be like a plan for how you would go about this. There are a few risks though. Poor data quality can mess up everything. So you need to ensure that there are data cleaning protocols. And like I said, technicians would love to get involved, and we have to train them. And now, what are the expected outcomes from all this? Okay, so we are looking at a reduction of unplanned downtime from by 30 to 50%. And because this is the data that Tata Metallics gives us, so we reduce the annual downtime to over 40 hours. And another important aspect is extending the equipment lifetime by 20 to 40%. So these are all industry standards. So we are looking at that, and that would be our goal. And so, what does this mean? We are talking about a real problem. Manufacturing organizations have unplanned downtimes. What is the solution? AI can read through all this data, and they can provide predictive maintenance capabilities, which means, okay, I know that in the next 15 days, some equipment is going to fail. This is my prediction. The technicians can get involved and see what can be done about it. And so this is just a starting point. There are a lot of examples for this. GE was able to reduce accident rates for electrical organizations because magnetic relays have an issue where they flare. So they were able to predict it and reduce it. So there are a lot of examples like this where predictive maintenance has helped. So this is with the evolution of generative AI, especially, I think there are a lot more prospects. So this is my whole sort of presentation, and these are my references. Thank you.
All right. Very good presentation, Arun. Did anyone have
Thank
any
you, Professor.
questions? Yes, very good. Excellent presentation. Very good, very good. All right, so did anyone have any questions? Oh, questions. Okay. All right, so let's see who is next. Let's see who was Vanita.
Hello, I'll try to share my screen. Just give me a minute.
Okay, sure.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can see.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'll present AI-driven demand forecasting and inventory optimization. The goal of this project is to shift from traditional reactive inventory planning to a predictive data-driven system that improves accuracy, reduces costs, and enhances customer satisfaction. So, just to walk through the industry context and strategic importance of this problem, retail operates in a highly volatile environment. Consumer demands change rapidly due to seasonality, promotions, economic shifts, and omnichannel shopping behavior. Um, these days, the demand's also affected by what we see on social media based on trends. So inventory is often the largest working capital expense for retailers, and carrying cost can range between 20 to 30% annually. When forecasts are inaccurate, companies either overstock, tying up capital, or understock, losing sales and customer trust. This makes forecasting not just an operational issue, but a strategic financial priority. Uh, to go over the problem definition, the core business problem is inaccurate demand forecasting, leading to inventory inefficiencies. Many retailers still rely on historical averages and manual adjustments. These approaches fail to account for dynamic factors like promotions, weather, or social media trends. The result is excess inventory, frequent stockouts, low margins, and poor cash flow utilization. The organization has data, but it is not being fully leveraged to drive predictive decisions. So now why AI is the right solution? AI is particularly suited to this problem because it can analyze massive data sets and detect complex patterns that traditional models miss. Machine learning continuously improves as new data becomes available. Instead of updating forecasts quarterly or monthly, AI allows real-time recalibration.
This transforms forecasting from a static planning exercise into a dynamic competitive advantage. So the proposed AI architecture includes 4 components. First would be machine learning models such as neural networks and gradient boosting to predict demand patterns. Second would be predictive analytics for scenario planning, such as promotion impact simulations, etc. Third would be NLP processing to analyze customer sentiment and detect emerging demand shifts. And finally, cloud based dashboards that provide real time visibility and automated replenishment triggers. The implementation follows a phased 6 to 9 months approach. We begin with data consolidation and governance. Then we move into model development and back testing. A pilot phase allows us to compare AI forecasts against legacy systems before enterprise rollout. Key resources include data scientists, supply chain analysts, cloud infrastructure, and executive sponsorship to ensure cross functional alignment. Um, there are certain risks, and key risks include poor data quality, model bias, overfitting, and employee resistance. To mitigate these risks, we implement data validation protocols, continuous model retraining, explainability dashboards, and strong cybersecurity controls. An AI oversight committee can also ensure transparency and ethical compliance. AI success depends not just on technology, but on governance and organizational adoption. Expected outcomes and strategy impact are both financial and strategic. We anticipate a 15 to 25% improvement in forecast accuracy and up to a 20% reduction in inventory holding costs. Even a small reduction in stockouts can significantly increase revenue and customer satisfaction. Long term, this initiative lays the foundation for autonomous replenishment systems and AI driven supply chain intelligence. Um, in conclusion, AI driven forecasting transforms inventory from a cost burden into a strategic asset and positions the organizations for sustainable competitive advantage. Thank you.
All right, Vanita, very good presentation. Excellent job. Did anyone have any questions for Vanita? Okay, very good. All right, well, what we're going to do now, Sanya, I know you wanted to go next, but we're going to take a quick break, 10 minutes. When we come back, we'll start off with your presentation.
Yeah, sure, Professor.
Okay, thank you. Let me just put that, I see it here in the chat. All right, everyone. Let's begin. Let's see. Sandra, you were next. Can you see me?
Yes, Professor. I can go. Can go next.
Got a moment. Let me see what's going on with my camera. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
Okay, let me share my screen.
All right.
Oh, actually, I think I need to this permission. Sorry. Professor, I might actually have to quit Zoom and rejoin back because I just changed the permission. Maybe I can go next if in case it might take a minute.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. If you have to pop out and pop back in, no problem. All right, who hasn't gone yet? Let's see, we've got a couple of people who are going to upload their videos. And let's see, we've got Jeet or Agni. Okay, Agni, your camera phone, your microphone. All right, Jeet.
Hey, hi, Professor. So I sent you an email as well that I'm not in the week 8 yet. I'm in week 7, but I was told to attend this online class. I don't know why. I even sent you an email.
Yeah, we're still in week 7. The week 8 assignment is just a PowerPoint of the week 7 assignment. This way you don't have to upload a video, because in the past I've had students that had difficulty uploading videos. So I figure since the live class was week 8, we could just do the presentations online. But if you're not ready to do the presentation, that's fine. I've got a few other people here who have sent me information in the chat that they're just going to upload their videos. So if you're not set to do that, that's perfectly fine. You can upload the video. I'm just going to ask all of the, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people, 5, including Jeet. And plus there are, let's see, 2 people that aren't here. All right, so for those of you that don't present today, when you upload your videos for week 8, please make sure you do them relatively. Don't wait till the last day in case there is an issue. Also, here I've got, who was it? Someone who wanted to make sure that. So, let me guess one moment here. Before you start, Sandy, hold on a moment. Let me just go here to, someone sent me something here in the chat. Let me make sure I can open it. And I don't want to open it while you're doing your presentation. And that's going to actually give us extra time now, which is, I'll go over a few things with you before we break for the day. And let's see if this opens. Give me one moment. This is Juan. Okay, so give me a moment here. Make sure this is up. Let's see. This. We've got the. Ah. Okay. Okay, yeah, that opens. Okay, good. Just okay. Sorry for the wait, Sonia. Let me just have you go now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Professor. Yeah, I can share my screen now.
Okay, great. We can see you.
Okay.
got the Zoom shared. Okay, very good.
Okay, hi everyone. I'll be presenting about AI solutions for fraud detection in financial services. So currently, the financial institutions are facing challenges due to increase in digital fraud cases. This is causing a lot of financial and reputational damage to these institutions, and the traditional systems generate many false positives, and they're also not very effective for real-time attack detection. These fraud cases have led to financial losses, regulatory penalties, and also loss in trust of customers. So there is a need for AI solutions that are effective and intelligent, and they can identify fraud cases effectively and in real time. So the proposed AI solutions for fraud detection are these four AI tools. The first one is machine learning models. They can be trained using historical training data of previous customer transactions, and they can be used to predict risk in real time by analyzing millions of transactions with very little latency. The second set of AI solutions are NLP and generative AI models, which can evaluate communication patterns in emails and other text data to detect phishing, impersonation, and any suspicious behaviors. Predictive analytics can be used to identify the customer usage patterns, their history, the location, time, uh, and other purchase behavior patterns to identify any anomalies. And then they can potentially flag these as fraudulent transactions. Unsupervised and anomaly detection models can be used for issuing real-time alerts, and they can also use to identify any anomalies in the transactions. This is a 12-month roadmap which involves 4 phases for implementing the AI solutions. The first phase is months 1 to 2, which involves data gathering and assessment. It involves collecting the customer data, any previous transaction logs, user behavior, and previous fraud cases, which can be used for training the AI models. The second phase is months 3 to 5, which involves the data engineering and model development to develop the machine learning, behavioral analytics, and NLP models, and to train these models and then assess their accuracy. Month 6 to 8 is the pilot deployment, which involves launching the models on a small scale and to monitor its performance, to also assess its model accuracy and retrain the models if needed before the final rollout. Months 9 to 12 is the scaling up and integration, which involves rolling out these models on the larger larger production environment, integrating it with incident management, customer app notifications, and also any reporting dashboards. The implementation also requires resources to be allocated for various cross-functional teams such as data scientists, engineers, risk and compliance, and other legal teams. And it also requires investment in technology infrastructure for building these AI ML models and cloud computing tools, models for monitoring and analytics dashboards. The implementation should also ensure that they do the due diligence with respect to risk assessment. They need to ensure that the model behavior is accurate and it also complies with the governance and any legal compliance that is there in the financial services sector. They also require human review, and cybersecurity measures should be enforced. The performance and validation needs to be improved by using backtesting protocols, which ensure that the AI model performance is stable across various transaction types. The expected outcomes of using these AI solutions is a reduction in fraud losses. We expect that using AI solutions will reduce the fraud by 20 to 40%. as compared to the previous traditional methods. It will also decrease the number of false positive cases, which improves the overall efficiency of the financial institutions. This also reduces the load on human analysts and reduces burnout of the human analysts due to manual investigation. It also helps in faster investigation by shortening the investigation times, which leads to improved efficiency. It enhances the customer trust by reducing uh, false positives, and it also makes the process more transparent and more effective. So, in summary, digital banking fraud has been increasing, and using AI-based solutions such as machine learning, natural language processing, and behavioral analytics will enhance fraud detection capabilities. The next steps would be to refine the models after it has been deployed in production, seeking real world feedback and retraining the models as needed to improve the accuracy. And another step for future roadmap is to extend these models beyond fraud detection to other channels and products such as Zelle payments and cross-border payments and other financial services. These are my references. Thank you.
All right, Sonia, very good presentation. Excellent job. Right. Did anyone have any questions for Sonia? No questions. All right. Well, we've got a few things. Everyone's presentation, everyone that presented today was very good. Now remember, the AI, as you know, is still being perfected. There are still some issues. It's getting better and better. A lot of the AI models are now starting to train other AI models. There's still some issues with hallucination. There's still some issues with a few other things as well. But a lot of this can come down to prompting the AI with effective questions. The way you ask it a question can have a big effect on the answer that you receive. Now, there have been some current events here. Hold on a moment. Here we go. All right, there have been, actually, there was something recently, I believe it was last week, that kind of went viral. I guess you'd say. I saw it on LinkedIn, and then it was on X, formerly known as Twitter, by a guy named, I think it was Matt. Let's see if I can here. Let's save it. You may or may not have seen it, and it was some information, basically mainly opinion, I guess, on AI and how to kind of prepare. I wouldn't say how to prepare, but not to be afraid of it. And let me see what it was called here. Oh yeah, here it is. Just bring that up here. Now you may or may not have seen this. In case you haven't, let's see if I can find it here. Wow, now it's really. Ooh, look at all the different. How this is good. Reddit articles on it. Fortune. This was just something that kind of really took off. Let me see if I could find the actual. Oh my goodness, there's a Wikipedia page on it. Anyway, as you know, Wikipedia is not always that trustworthy. It's not a scholarly source. But let's go here to the one. Let me do this. Let me share my screen. A little bit of time. Share. All right. I first saw it on LinkedIn. I guess it was last Thursday, last Wednesday, last Thursday. And I found it somewhat interesting. It's already been picked up. Let's see. Okay, so this was the article. I'm not going to sign in. No, let me just go to the site. Olympics is still going. AOL? They're still in business? Uh, uh, Now, if you go to the LinkedIn article, move this out of the way so I can see. Okay, here we go. Here it was. All right, so this was the article. I first saw it on LinkedIn. It was called Something Big is Happening. And I guess it was, think back to February of 2020. If you were paying close attention, you might have noticed a few people talking about a virus spreading overseas, but most of us weren't paying close attention. The stock market was doing great. Your kids were in school. That is, yeah, kids. You were going to restaurants and shaking hands and planning trips. If someone told you they were stockpiling toilet paper, and I never understood about the toilet paper. Of all things, you would think coffee or sugar or flour or something, but toilet paper? Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. Stockpiling toilet paper, you would have thought they'd been spending too much time on a weird corner of the internet. Then, over the course of about 3 weeks, the entire world changed. Your office closed, your kids came home, and life rearranged itself into something you wouldn't have believed if you described it to yourself a month earlier. I think we're in the this seems overblown phase of something much, much bigger than COVID. I've spent 6 years building an AI startup. Before I go any further with this, is anyone aware of this article? Has anyone seen it? No? Juan, you're the only one shaking your head because everyone else is. Anyone else? Yes, no? All right, I'm just going to go through and share it with you. Looks like no one has seen this. Wow. Okay, so let me go back and reshare. The name of the person who wrote this is Matt Schumer, and it was just called Something Big is Happening. And he's talking about the AI revolution. So, okay, he starts off talking about how COVID took everyone by surprise. So I've spent 6 years building an AI startup and investing in the space. I live in this world, and I'm writing this for the people in my life who don't. My family, my friends, the people I care about who keep asking me, so what's the deal with AI? And getting an answer that doesn't do justice to what's actually happening. I keep giving them the polite version, the cocktail party version, because the honest version sounds like I've lost my mind. And for a while, I told myself that was a good enough reason to keep what's truly happening to myself. But the gap between what I've been saying and what is actually happening has gotten far too big. The people I care about deserve to hear what is coming, even if it sounds crazy. I should be clear about something up front. Even though I work in AI, I have almost no influence over what's about to happen. Neither does the vast majority of the industry. The future is being shaped by a remarkably small number of people, a few hundred researchers and a handful of companies, OpenAI, Anthropic, Google DeepMind, and a few others. A single training run managed by a small team over a few months can produce an AI system that shifts the entire trajectory of the technology. Most of us who work in AI are building on top of foundations we didn't lay. We're watching this unfold the same as you. We just happen to be close enough to feel the ground shake first. But it's time now, not in an eventually we should talk about this way, in a this is happening right now and I need you to understand it way. I know this is real because it happened to me first. Here's the thing nobody outside of tech quite understands yet. The reason so many people in the industry are sounding the alarm right now is because this already happened to us. We're not making predictions. We're telling you what already occurred in our own jobs and warned you that you're next. For years, AI has been improving steadily. Big jumps here and there, but each big jump was spaced out enough that you could absorb them as they came. Then in 2025, new techniques for building these models unlocked a much faster pace of progress. And then it got even faster, and then faster again. Each model wasn't just better than the last, it was better by a wider margin, and the time between new model releases was shorter. I was using AI more and more, going back and forth with it less and less, watching it handle things I used to think required my expertise. Then on February 5th, two major AI labs released new models on the same day: GPT-5.3 Codex from OpenAI and Opus 4.6 from Anthropic, the makers of Claude, one of the main competitors of ChatGPT. And something clicked. Not a light switch, more like the moment you realize the water has been rising around you and is now at your chest. I am no longer needed for the actual technical work of my job. I describe what I want built in plain English and it just appears. Not a rough draft I need to fix. The finished thing. I tell the AI what I want, walk away from my computer for 4 hours, and come back to find the work done. Done well, done better than I would have done it myself, with no corrections needed. A couple of months ago, I was going back and forth with the AI, guiding it, making edits. Now I just describe the outcome and leave. Let me give you an example so you can understand what this actually looks like in practice. I'll tell the AI, I want to build this app. Here's what it should do. Here's roughly what it should look like. Figure out the user flow, the design, all of it. And it does. It writes tens of thousands of lines of code. Then, and this is the part that would have been unthinkable a year ago, it opens the app itself. It clicks through the buttons. It tests the features. It uses the app the way a person would. If it doesn't like how something looks or feels, it goes back and changes it on its own. It iterates like a developer would, fixing and refining until it's satisfied. Only once it has decided the app meets its own standards does it come back to me and say, it's ready for you to test. And then I test it, and it's usually perfect. I'm not exaggerating. This is what my Monday looked like this week. But it wasn't the model that was released last week, GPT 5.3 Codex, that shook me the most. It wasn't just executing my instructions, it was making intelligent decisions. It had something that felt for the first time like judgment, like taste. The inexplicable sense of knowing what the right call is that people always said AI would never have. This model has it, or something close enough that the distinction is starting not to matter. I've always been early to adopt AI tools, but the last few months have shocked me. These new AI models aren't incremental improvements. This is a different thing entirely. And here's why this matters to you, even if you don't work in tech. The AI labs made a deliberate choice. They focused on making AI great at writing code first, because building AI requires a lot of code. If AI can write that code, it can help build the next version of itself. A smarter version, which writes better code, which builds an even smarter version. Making AI great at coding was the strategy that unlocks everything else. That's why they did it first. My job started changing before yours because they were targeting software engineers. It was just a side effect of where they chose to aim first. They've now done it, and they're moving on to everything else. The experience that tech workers have had over the past year of watching AI go from helpful tool to does my job better than I do is the experience everyone else is about to have. Law, finance, medicine, accounting, consulting, writing, Design, analysis, customer service. Not in 10 years. The people building these systems say 1 to 5 years. Some say less. And given what I've just seen in just the last couple of months, I think less is more likely. But I tried AI and it wasn't that good. I hear this constantly. I understand it because it used to be true. If you tried ChatGPT in 2023 or early 2024 and thought, this makes stuff up, or this isn't that impressive, you were right. Those early versions were generally limited. They hallucinated. They confidently said things that were nonsense. That was 2 years ago. In AI time, that is ancient history. The models available today are unrecognizable from what existed even 6 months ago. The debate about whether AI is really getting better or hitting a wall, which has been going on for over a year, is over. It's done. Anyone still making that argument either hasn't used the current models, has an incentive to downplay what's happening, or is evaluating based on an experience from 2024 that is no longer relevant. I don't say that to be dismissive. I say it because the gap between public perception and current reality is now enormous. And that gap is dangerous because it's preventing people from preparing. Part of the problem is that most people are using the free version of AI tools. The free version is over a year behind what paying users have access to. Judging AI based on free tier ChatGPT is like evaluating the state of smartphones by using a flip phone. The people paying for the best tools and actually using them daily for real work know what's coming. Okay, so it goes on and on and on about a friend who's a lawyer, but I just wanted to point this article out to you. This is let's see, we have something here in the chat. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I basically want everyone to be prepared. So I'll finish going through the article, and I will apologize for those that I was speeding up, rushing through their presentations because I thought more people were going to be presenting, and I wanted to give everyone enough time. So those of you, your presentations were excellent. And if I did rush you a little bit, I just wanted to have enough time to get through to everyone. Anyway, we still have some time here, so I'm just going to go through this article because there's been so much written about this in the last week that people are saying it's hype, people are saying this and that, and I want you to just look at it from with an open mind. If you haven't seen this already, this has been going through different, it's on Reddit, it's on YouTube, it's on all of these different platforms, Fortune magazine, the New York Times, all of the different online newspapers, all of the magazines, they're all chiming in on this. And if you haven't seen it, it's just something that I wanted to make you aware of. This is someone who works in the AI industry, and they're just saying that he didn't want to scare anyone. He just wants people to be prepared. Start using AI as a tool, become familiar with it, because those of people that aren't or are just poo-pooing it and just not paying attention, they may have an issue. So the article goes on. I think of a friend who's a lawyer. I keep telling him to try using AI at his firm, and he keeps finding reasons it won't work. It's not built for his specialty. It made an error when he tested it. It doesn't understand the nuance of what he does. And I get it, but I've had partners at major law firms reach out to me for advice because they've tried the current versions and they see where this is going. One of them, the managing partner at a large firm, spends hours every day using AI. He told me it's like having a team of associates available instantly. He's not using it because it's a toy. He's using it because it works. And he told me something that stuck with me. Every couple of months, it gets significantly more capable for his work. He said if it stays on this trajectory, he expects it will be able to do most of what he does before long. And he's a managing partner with decades of experience. He's not panicking, but he's paying very close attention. The people who are ahead in their industries, the ones actually experimenting seriously, are not dismissing this. They've blown away what it can already do, and they're positioning themselves accordingly. How fast this is actually moving. Let me make the pace of improvement concrete because I think this is the part that's hardest to believe if you're not watching it closely. In 2022, AI couldn't do basic arithmetic reliably. It would confidently tell you that 7 times 8 equals 54. By 2023, it could pass the bar exam. By 2024, it could write working software and explain graduate level science. By late 2025, some of the best engineers in the world said they had handed over most of their coding work to AI. On February 5th, 2026, new models arrived that made everything before them feel like a different era. If you haven't tried AI in the last few months, what exists today would be unrecognizable to you. There's an organization called METR that actually measures this with data. They track the length of real-world tasks measured by how long they take a human expert that a model can complete successfully end-to-end without human help. About a year ago, the answer was roughly 10 minutes. Then it was an hour, then several hours. The most recent measurement, Claude Opus 4.5 from November, showed the AI completing tasks that take a human expert nearly 5 hours. And that number is doubling approximately every 7 months, with recent data suggesting it may be accelerating to as fast as every 4 months. But even that measurement hasn't been updated to include the models that just came out this week. In my experience using them, the jump is extremely significant. I expect the next update to METR's graph to show another major leap. If you extend the trend and it's held for years with no sign of flattening, we're looking at AI that can work independently for days within the next year, weeks within 2, month-long projects within 3. Amadei has said that AI models substantially smarter than almost all humans at almost all tasks are on track for 2026 or 2027. Let that land for a second. If AI is smarter than most PhDs, do you really think it can't do most office jobs? Think about what that means for your work. AI is now building the next AI. That's one more thing happening that I think is the most important development and the least understood. On February 5th, OpenAI released GPT 5.3 Codex. In the technical documentation, they included this. GPT 5.3 Codex is our first model that was instrumental in creating itself. The Codex team used early versions to debug its own training, manage its own deployment, and diagnose test results and evaluations. So if you read that again, the AI helped build itself. This isn't a prediction about what might happen someday. This is OpenAI telling you right now that the AI they just released was used to create itself. One of the main things that makes AI better is intelligence applied to AI development. And AI is now intelligent enough to meaningfully contribute to its own improvement. Dario Amadei, the CEO of Anthropic, says AI is now writing much of the code at his company, and that the feedback loop between current AI and next generation AI is gathering steam month by month. He says we may be only 1 to 2 years away from a point where the current generation of AI autonomously builds the next. So each generation helps to build the next, which is smarter, which builds the next faster, which is smarter still. Researchers call this an intelligence explosion. And the people who would know, the ones building it, believe the process has already started. So what this means for your job. I'm going to be direct with you because I think you deserve honesty more than comfort. Dario Amadei, who is probably the most safety-focused CEO in the AI industry, has publicly predicted that AI will eliminate 50% 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs within 1 to 5 years. And many people in the industry think he's being conservative. Given what the latest models can do, the capability for massive disruption could be here by the end of this year. I'll take some time to ripple through the economy, but the underlying ability is arriving now. So the article goes on, a few more things here. I just wanted everyone here to be in the class to be aware that this is pretty much, this article has gone viral. I mean, I've seen it in so many different places, and I just happened to stumble upon it on LinkedIn. So if you go here and, there's, people on Reddit are commenting, New York Times, you've got all of these different, Wikipedia page already, you've got YouTube videos on this. And there's just been a lot of things going on. People are, here we go. Viral article warns of looming impacts of artificial intelligence. Business Insider. Tech leaders are raising tough questions over Matt Schumer's viral essay on how it will impact jobs. CNN. Tech founder describes his wake-up moment on the future of AI. San Francisco Standard. A tech CEO says AI is about to do to everyone it is doing to coders. Is he right? So check out the article on your own. Matt Schumer. I just typed in Matt Schumer AI article. I can stick this in the chat. Let me go back here, stop sharing if anyone is interested. Because the class is AI in business. Okay. Let me send that to everyone here. This is the guy's name, Matt Schumer. I just typed in Matt Schumer AI article, and it came up with all of the information here. But there's been a lot of talk about this. And it's just something that I want all of you, because all of you are, me, I'm old. I'm ancient. I'll be retired. You guys, as I mentioned last class, are going to be, running the world. So I want you to be prepared for what's coming. Keep on top of things. Keep alert. Try and make yourselves more in tune with the newer versions of AI that are out there. Become familiar with them. Use them as a tool. Learn how to use them. Prepare yourselves. I don't want you to feel that AI is going to go in and take everybody's job, but the more prepared you are, the more proficient you are at using these tools, the easier it'll be for you to fit into this the new world order. I should say. I shouldn't say new world order, but it's basically it's going that way, and I've seen these things. This is going to be a disruptive. It is already a disruptive technology. You're going to see a lot of people that the people that are embracing this and learning how to use it are going to be more successful than those that don't use it or don't want to even deal with it at all. So thoughts, anyone? What do you think? Did I just put everyone to sleep? See, everyone's got their camera off. Is anyone paying attention? What I'd like to do
Professor, I remember reading this article.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did, yeah. So, but there is a catch. The guy who wrote this article is also a startup founder, which focuses on AI. So some of the things that he says are valid, but they're like you always have to have a critical eye, especially when you're looking at it, because their argument was some of them are deliberately very AI focused. But I think it's important to realize that AI is a good tool to have and to learn how to incorporate it more into your life. I think that part is true. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Okay, very good. And I agree. He does work for a company that, but what he's saying is a lot of the things that he used to have to do, AI is now doing for him. And
Right.
It's making his position, I guess, easier. But it's something where now that you've got AI systems that are writing themselves is something that, it's the technology is progressing very, very fast. And
Right.
keeping up with it, I feel, is very important.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else care to comment? Or has anyone else seen it? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Anyone?
I think it's kind of scary right now, Professor, because I think once if goes commercial, I think all the works like that he says would you be in jeopardy, especially especially the entry level early career jobs. So I don't know, but I've read a lot of things in the past, where automobile was very disruptive to the horse cart pullers. They had to, so at the end of the day, you have to adapt, you have to transform, but the transformation would be painful. It'll be short. The shorter it is, the more painful it will be. So I think we'll have to adapt using to it. And yeah, software engineering is not the attractive job that it used to be in the last decade. It's going to dull out for the moment, at least.
Okay, very good.
For me,
I agree. I mean, this, as you mentioned, the automobile took over, the horse and buggy industry, and you had the farriers who shoed the horses, and the people that made the harnesses, and the people that made the saddles. You still have people that have horses, especially where I live here out in the boonies, but you don't have as many people that shoe horses, farriers, that make the saddles, that make the harnesses and all the tack and all the things. So the jobs are still there, but there just aren't as many. And what you said also is how fast it's taking place. Okay, the speed at which this is occurring is could be some concern, uh, because you need to give people time to adapt and time to learn these things. Now, all of you here that are in class today, I just want to, before class ends here, those that gave your presentations today, got the list here. Please, once week 8 hits, make sure you upload the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, I've got you on video on the Zoom, so you don't have to upload the video. Those of you that did not, please make sure you're uploading a video. Follow the week 8 assignment where you have to upload a 10 to 15-minute video of you presenting your PowerPoint. Now, if you do have problems uploading the video, please don't wait until the last day to upload the video, okay, for week 8. Because if you have a problem and the term ends, then you have to, it causes some issues. So upload it early. If you have an issue, let me know so that there's some workarounds that have to be done. I say this because, as I mentioned many times in the past, I've had students try to upload a video of things and they get an error, or there's a problem, or there's an issue with gap, or there's sometimes there's issues. So with that, everyone, it's been a pleasure having all of you in class. Did anyone have any questions before we go? All right. The week 7 assignment, which is the my session ended. Hold on. The week 7 assignment, make sure you are following the instructions of the assignment. The assignment is supposed to be pages. I know I mentioned this at the beginning of class, but I'm going to mention it again because I think a couple of people came in a little late. Week 7 AI project report is an 8 to 10 page paper. Your paper has to be at least 8 pages, not 6 pages, not 7.5 pages, 8 pages, not including the cover and reference page. So with the cover page and the reference page, if you only have one page of references, that will make it 10 pages. So at least 8 pages, 8 to 10 pages. And the week 8 assignment is a presentation of the week 7 assignment. Week 8, you have to, I think what unlocks week 8 is you have to do the end of course survey. And then the AI project presentation, you're developing a 10 to 15 minute presentation video summarizing the report findings and strategic recommendations. I actually had a few questions on this. They don't specifically say it in week 8, but you are doing a presentation of the week 7 AI project. It's the AI project presentation. I might actually go in here. It allows me to edit it. Settings. Let me just make a note. Week 7 AI report. Develop a 10 to 15 minute presentation video summarizing the week 7 AI reports, findings, and strategic recommendations. Okay, that made it a little bit more clear. Save and display. Okay, so let me share my screen before we go so you can see what I just did. I just made a little update here. Okay, for week 8. Okay, you're developing a 10 to 15 minute presentation video summarizing the week 7 AI reports finding and strategic recommendations. Use visuals to enhance engagement and convey key points clearly. Now, this is for the people who did not present today. But those of you that presented today, you just have to upload your PowerPoint presentation. All right? You don't have to do a video of it. Make sure you have references in there and a cover page, a cover slide, I should say. All right, did anyone have any questions before we break for the day? Let me have everyone turn on your camera one more time. Let me get one more screenshot for the class. It was a pleasure having all of you in class. May have you in a class again at some point. Everyone smile. Okay, very good. Everyone take care. Hold on, let me save that before I let you go. Okay, good. Saved. All right, everyone, take care. Be well. It was a pleasure having all of you in class.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Professor.
And have a
Professor.
great
Thank
rest of your
you.
weekend.
Bye,
Thank you,
Professor.
Professor.
All
Bye,
right, take care
Professor.
and be well.
Thank you, Professor.